Okay, welcome everyone to the Team Empower team call. We have a guest speaker tonight. Actually, she's not a guest, but Amber will be speaking tonight. Holy crap, you look so pretty. Anyway, so we'll do recognition first if you're okay with that, Amber, and then we will move on to your presentation. So I can share my screen just to share the updated Success Club board here. But feel free to unmute yourself and shout someone out if you want.
I can start. So I want to shout out Allison for hitting Success Starter. Huge congrats. And then also Lauren and Emily for halfway to Emerald.
I have the worst memory in case you guys haven't realized yet. So I don't remember who I've shouted out before, but I'm just going to shout them out again because I figure why not? In case I haven't already. But my Nancy has locked in month 2 of Success Starter. I have Kat who's locked in month 1 of Success Starter. And my girls who have already locked in Success Club, Kat, Maya, Paige, and Andrea I think has now, and also Megan. I think that's everyone. And my mom.
I was just going to say, don't forget your mom. I want to shout out Lauren Harvey. She is month 1 Success Starter, and she hit Emerald ×2, so that's awesome. And then everyone on this board, like every time I'm checking SC numbers, I'm like, holy crap, another name. So this is so awesome to see. And obviously I need to shout out Amber. She is officially a Success Club All-Star, which means she has hit Success Club every single month for an entire year, which is amazing. So that is who I wanted to shout out tonight.
Okay, I'll go. I want to shout out Andrea, my new coach. This is her first team call. I want to shout out Michelle because she has her first working coach. I want to shout out Kate who hit Emerald last week. And I want to shout out Sophie who is a brand new coach. And this weekend she did her coming out as a coach post. So good job, guys.
I just want to shout out Amber because I'm really excited to hear your talk tonight, and I'm just so proud, I guess, of how you've been going out of your comfort zone, and all of the things you're doing. That you're speaking at Stars thing this weekend, and you're doing this tonight, and you did the interview with Shauna, and just how much you're inspiring people and how many lives you're changing. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. So
Sorry, I'm just gonna go. I want to shout out Ariel and Haley. I don't know if she's on here, but I see you guys showing up in the morning to work your business, and you guys are super consistent. So good job.
Okay, can everyone see Amber right now? Okay, so Amber's speaking tonight. She is founder of Team Hustle. She also started a podcast this year called Project Hustle. She is a diamond coach. She is a Success Club All-Star, and she just had that this month, so that's super exciting. She is also, on top of that, a full-time chemical engineer, a hockey player, and she has a boyfriend. So she also has a crazy life, but she's been able to see success by finding success in the basics of the business. So I will stop sharing my screen. And Amber, go ahead.
Thank you, Shauna. I have some slides to share if you want to make me host. All right, can you guys see my screen? Perfect. All right, so as Shauna mentioned, I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about finding success in the basics, because I know that a lot of the time people try and complicate things and they think they can't be successful if they're doing, all these complicated things. And really, the way that I've found success in this business is the simplest little things that make a huge difference. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about tonight. I threw up this slide because if anyone's following my stories or anything, you know that I am full of tough love. That's my style. I'm that type of person. I don't sugarcoat things. I tell it to you straight. So apologies in advance if you're more of a sensitive person. But this is just kind of how I roll. This is the way I've done my life and my business. And I found that it really works for me. And the reason I'm doing this is to kind of light a fire under you. It's not to be mean or anything. So we're just going to roll with it for tonight, but just thought I'd give you that little disclaimer. So a little bit about me for those who don't know. So I was born and raised on a farm. I am a small town country girl at heart, love country music, all that stuff. I was that girl in high school that played literally every single sport in the book. I was known as the athlete, and I continued on to play varsity hockey at Queen's University. And this is actually a huge part of my story because it was a huge part of my entire identity. So for pretty much since I could walk, I was skating and I was playing hockey. And that was my whole life, basically, up until I graduated. So people would say, oh, Amber, she's an athlete. That's just how it went. The 2 and 2 went together. And that's who I identified myself as for my entire life, is an athlete. And when I graduated, it was kind of like this whole piece of me was taken away. And I was just kind of lost. I didn't really know who Amber was anymore because I was like, where is this next stage of life going to take me? Because it was something so different. I didn't have hockey. I wasn't a student anymore. I was out in the real world. And that was a huge shift for me. If anyone else on this call was an athlete at any time in their life, you could probably relate to that. But anyways, just know that that was a huge part of who I was as a person. And I was kind of lost for about a year after I graduated. Not only was I no longer an athlete, I wasn't a student, I was working full time in a new town. I didn't know anybody, and I was just struggling on my own fitness journey because I didn't have hockey. I wasn't being handed fitness programs on a silver platter anymore. I wasn't given personal trainers all the time anymore. And Shauna, luckily, reached out to me about a year later, asking me to join her boot camps. And obviously I said yes, because here I am today. And honestly, I just want you guys to know, like at the time, I was so embarrassed. Like I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell a soul that I signed up for this. Like I did this completely in secret because for me, as my identity as an athlete, I was thinking, I'm going from up here being a varsity athlete and I'm stooping so low as to go do these like silly little at-home workout programs. I just want you guys to know that because that's the mental space that I was in at the time. It was something that I was like just so embarrassed about. And it took me a long time to really come out of that and to admit that this was something that was actually good for me. And that's what started my whole mindset shift and my mindset journey as a coach. And so I actually wanted to start coaching almost right away. But every single fear in the book held me back. Like you can literally name any fear that you had before you started coaching. And I had that fear. And I think it was like 8 months after I started that I finally jumped in and started coaching, and I just hit the ground running from there. And just so you guys know, like I am a full-time chemical engineer. So I don't coach full-time. I'm doing this on the side. And being a full-time chemical engineer, my job is often 50 plus hours a week. And I also sometimes have to work on the weekends. So I'm pretty busy. I have a lot going on. And also through COVID, I have not had the work from home opportunity like a lot of people have. I've still been having to show up every single day at work and do my job. And that takes away a lot of time from other things that I could be doing. And I know a lot of you who are maybe also in the same situation, or you're frontline workers or whatever, you're making that your excuse to not do well in this business and to not achieve your goals. And just know, don't do that, because if there's anything from this call, just know that I'm living proof you can achieve your goals no matter how busy your schedule is. And no matter if you're work from home or if you're going to work, just know you can achieve your goals. And I think that because I had that mindset, that's what helped me hit diamond before reaching a year in the business, because I told myself, I'm doing this, I'm capable of doing this. No matter what everybody else is doing, this is something that I'm doing for me. And so just my last point about myself here is that I am also a podcast host. So I launched a podcast in November last year. It's called Project Hustle. Thank you to everyone on this call who's been like tagging it in their stories. It honestly means so much to me. So thank you. Subtle plug, if you haven't checked it out, go to the link in my bio and it's there. It's called Project Hustle. And also a little plug here. I did an interview with Shauna this past weekend and that will drop on next Monday. So January 25th, if you're interested in hearing about that. But anyways, back to the content of this show, this PowerPoint today. So we'll get into my tips. Tip number 1, rip off the Band-Aid. This is something that I struggled with, honestly. Like, this is my biggest tip because I was the queen of the comfort zone. I was literally living in the comfort zone for my entire life. I was an athlete and that's all I did. I chose, I'm good at sports. I'm just going to do sports and that's it. And that kind of just isolated myself into this little bubble where I didn't know how to do anything else. And I didn't want to do anything else. I was like, I don't want to be embarrassed that I suck at something else. So I'm just only going to do this. And that's why it's such an important part of my story, because becoming a coach, let me tell you, that was kind of going way outside my comfort zone. Like, me being a chemical engineer, engineers are like nerdy, quiet people who keep to themselves. I don't know any other engineers that do this, honestly. And so that was really, really far outside my comfort zone. And I just want you guys to know, no matter if you are a brand new coach or if you are a seasoned veteran in this business, there is something that you are afraid of that is holding you back that will take your business to the next level. And whatever that is, you need to rip off the Band-Aid right now to make that happen. Because you must first, I threw this picture up here. This picture on the left is actually the very first picture that I posted as a coach, and it still makes me laugh today. But it is the picture that tells me I was afraid. I was terrified when I posted that picture. I took that picture probably 100 times over. I rewrote the caption probably another 100 times over. I had all the fears. I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally a mess at the time. I just knew I had to do this. I had to step outside of my comfort zone, and I had to post that picture on that day, because in order to become the person that I am today, I had to be that girl first. I had to be this girl, and I had to post that picture before I could ever become this girl on the right. And this girl on the right, I am so proud of. This is somebody that has gained an enormous amount of confidence in less than a year. Like, I honestly can't believe it. Just from posting that picture, I've gained the confidence to speak on this call, for example. I've gained the confidence to start my own podcast. I've gained the confidence to show up every single day as a coach, which is something I wouldn't have done a year ago. And it all started with posting that one picture that I was terrified to post about a year ago. So just know that no matter what it is, if you're a brand new coach, maybe you're afraid to send invites. You can't run this business if you don't send invites. So rip off the Band-Aid. Send your invites tonight after this call. Just go do it. Just rip off the Band-Aid. Do it. And if you're maybe a veteran coach, maybe you're someone who's being asked to speak on some other team's call, or maybe the national wake-up call. Let's say you're asked to speak on the national wake-up call. You're not going to turn that down. You need to rip off the Band-Aid. You're going to be terrified because that's like a national stage you're speaking on. And we all know Shauna did it and it was awesome. And she can tell you that because she ripped off that Band-Aid, she did that call, no matter what, it's taken her business to the next level. And if you aren't willing to rip off that Band-Aid and do something that's going to move your business forward, you're never going to get there. You're going to be stuck in this initial stages forever. So you just need to rip off the Band-Aid. That's my biggest tip for you today, because it's been honestly the biggest game changer, not just in my business, but in my entire life. So I want you to know that no matter how scared you are, go for it. So that's my first tip. My second tip is use other coaches. We say this all the time, that you are not in this business alone. So I know you know that, but a lot of times new coaches struggle in the beginning because they don't know, they're like, I don't know what to post. Like, I don't have any content. I don't know how to take pictures. I don't know how to do all this. You have literally, there's like 50 people on this call. You have 50 people you can go creep and look at what they're posting. Like, the resources are literally handed to you. All you have to do is use them. So if you're asking your coach what to post, you don't know what to post, did you look at their profile? Did you look at their pictures? Did you look at their story? If you're like, I don't know what to post in my story, like, I'm not interesting, look at their story. Look at every single person on this call, their story. There's something that you can post in there and something that you can use as inspiration. I will say, please don't directly copy other coaches because that's plagiarism. And simply people won't relate to you if you're just copying somebody else, but use them as inspiration. Use them as a starting point for yourself, because there's a whole world. Like up here, I just put Shauna, Shelby, and Danielle. That's because they're the 3 amazing leaders that we have. But just know you can literally look at any coach's profile and get tons of ideas from that. So use other coaches. The other part of this that I wanted to say was success partners. I honestly laugh every time I talk about success partners because it's something I did not think I needed. I literally came into this business telling myself, I don't need other people. I'm independent. I don't need people to be successful. Like, I can do this by myself. I was that person. I did not join this business for any sort of community or friendships. And I know a lot of you did, but I was not that person. Like, trust me when I say that. I was like, I don't need anybody. And honestly, I was doing fine. I was doing just fine by myself. I was hitting Success Club. I was being consistent. I was like earning an income and everything, but it didn't take me to the next level. And honestly, the game changer in my business was this past October when we did a diamond dash. And Shauna put me, Alicia, and Audrey in a group chat together and said, you guys are at similar places. Work your businesses together. Work together to hit your diamond this month. And I had never spoken to these girls ever in my life. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, but I'm not going to use this chat. Like, I don't need them. Like, that was honestly my opinion. And it makes me laugh because that month I hit diamond because I had them, because I had other people that were literally pushing me every single day and challenging me every single day. And that's why I hit my diamond. And Alicia followed right after. And I know that Audrey's coming this month. So just know that the power of success partners is honestly contagious. Not just with having them push you, it's also the smart thing to do because it's efficient in your business. You now have not just yourself. You don't have to do everything by yourself. You can work with 2 other people or 3 other people, whatever, and do things together. So let's say you're busy like me, you're at work one day and you're running a coach sneak peek. Well, if you have a couple other girls, they can make the slides while you're at work and you can talk about them later at night. It takes work off of your back so that you can be more successful. It's literally efficiency at its finest. So honestly, when I say success partners are so key, I mean it. Like, use them not only as fuel and as a push, but as business partners. And also what I did not expect out of all of this was to legitimately make friends out of them, which makes this whole experience so much more meaningful. And it's actually caused me to want to do this, pursue more of a full-time career doing this, which is something I never, ever would have considered if I didn't have the friendships that I have right now. And so there's so much power, trust me when I say that, so much power in success partners. So that is my tip number 2, is use other coaches. Tip number 3, I know I just said use other coaches, but at the same time, you don't want to copy them and you still want to be unapologetically you. Because honestly, nobody likes a fake person. And it's really obvious if you're being fake. I put up a bunch of examples here on this slide, but the one I want to point out is the hey girl message. Because if you are not a hey girl type of person, don't send hey girl messages. It is an easy concept, but everyone does it. And if that's not you, you're literally being so fake if you're sending those messages. And I used to do it. So don't worry if you're in that boat. I am not a hey girl person. I am the opposite of that. Like, I'm not really girly. I don't send hey girl. Like, what I did when I started this business, I was just copying other coaches' invites. And a lot of that was like, hey girl, heart, flower, like smiley. Oh, hey love, like I'm just inviting you. That's not me. And I felt so ridiculous sending those messages. And it's fine if that's you. If that is you, use those invites because that's authentically you, but that was not me at all. And people knew that. And it's just funny because when you first start coaching, you're inviting people that actually know you in person. They're going to know if you're being fake. Like, if you send them a message, when I send some of my hockey friends messages that said, hey girl, with a bunch of emojis, like, they look at me like, what? Like, and it makes me laugh because I'm like, why did I ever think that that was going to bring me success? Because that's not me. And once I changed that, and once I really was truly authentically me, not just in the way I invite, but all over my page, in my stories, how I talk on my stories, when you are yourself, it shines. It shines on a bright stage that you are being yourself. It's just so obvious that you are comfortable, you're confident, and people are going to be drawn to you. Your people will be drawn to you. And I know we say that all the time, and you might think, yeah, but nobody's going to come to me. I'm weird or whatever. Like, they will come. So you need to be yourself. And that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, transformations do not have to be physical. And this one is a little bit sensitive for some people, but honestly, for me, it kind of bothers me when I see people posting fake body transformations, because it doesn't feed into the whole body positivity topic. And quite honestly, people don't like it. Like, if you're posting a fake body transformation of yourself, people know, like, they can tell because you post other pictures the next day that look nothing like that transformation. It's obvious and people don't like it. And what I think when I see that, like, if you are posting clearly edited pictures of yourself, or clearly you're turned to the side, like showing this perfect body transformation, that's not real. And I don't like to tell my future clients that it's realistic to get in 21 days, you're going to lose all this weight and you're going to look like this. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what I think any of us are here for. We're here for the journey. We're here to show them that it's hard work. And quite frankly, I don't want people who are thinking it's a 21-day fix and that's it. I don't want those people on my team. So I'm not going to show those kind of transformations. And you'll notice the pictures I put up here, there's only one of them that is a full body picture. These are my last 4 transformation pictures, and only one is a full body picture, because for me, it's not about that. For me, it's about my mindset. My mindset transformation it blows my body transformation out of the water. And if you are trying to attract people based on the mindset transformation, you need to post mindset transformation pictures, and you need to be showing that, because if you're not showing that, people won't know. Like, they aren't going to know what's in your head unless you show it. So for example, in the top one here, like, this is one I just posted about coaching. I went from literally watching TV all the time, having no ambition, no drive, no passion, no dreams, to working a side hustle, gaining friendships, making an income. Talk about that. That was a post about coaching transformation. In the bottom, I talked about, that was my pretty much 1-year transformation almost. Where on the left, this is a girl who is shy, who doesn't step out of her comfort zone, who all that stuff. She transformed into a person who has confidence, who started a podcast, who started coaching, who started doing all these things. That's a mindset transformation. And the one on the right, like, I think the smile speaks a million words in this picture. Like, I was obviously not happy, you see, in this picture, and I'm just happy beyond words. So just know that your transformations, they don't have to be physical. And I know a lot of people think that, but honestly, you need to be true to who you are. If you are trying to attract people based on the mindset transformation, post about it. People don't know if you don't post, so please post about it. And that's fine if you still want to post like body transformation, because I know a lot of you have insane body transformations. And yes, absolutely show that, but don't be fake about it. Be real. Be 100% real with people. My next tip is hit Success Club. This is honestly non-negotiable and something I think a lot of people think is optional, but let's just make this really clear. Success Club is not just about the rewards. It's not about the trips. It's not about the prizes. That's not what Success Club is really all about. Sure, all that stuff's great. And you might think, I don't need that, so it's fine if I don't hit it. But hitting Success Club means you are moving your business forward. Put simply, if you hit Success Club, you make money in this business. If you don't hit Success Club, you don't make money in this business. And if you're not hitting Success Club, I have to ask you why. Because you are given all of the tools. You are literally given all of the tools that you need to hit Success Club, and it starts with your tracker. And if you think that you are too good for a tracker, if you think you don't need a tracker, if you think the things on the tracker aren't going to get you there, and then you come whining to us about why you're not hitting Success Club, don't waste leaders' time on this call. Like, if you are reaching out to a leader on this call saying, I'm not hitting Success Club, what am I doing wrong? And the first question they ask is, are you filling out your tracker? And your answer is no, you're wasting their time, because you are not putting in the effort yourself. You're not taking responsibility into your own hands. And you clearly don't want to run this business with the tools that we give you. So I have to ask you, are you following your tracker? Because it is there for a reason. The things on there, if you are filling them out every single day, you will hit Success Club. And another thing that I always say is, new coaches, if you go to your coach and say, I don't know why I'm not hitting Success Club. Like, I have nobody that wants to sign up. If I go to your profile, I can probably tell you the reason why you're not hitting Success Club within a minute of looking at it. It's because you're not doing the things on the tracker. You're not even posting in your story. You're not posting on your feed frequently enough, and you're not showing you. If I go to your profile and you don't even have a story posted, why do you think you're going to be hitting Success Club? If people don't know what you're doing, they have to search for what you're doing. It's not blatantly obvious on your page what you're doing. You won't hit Success Club. It's that simple. And I know it's hard to hear, but if you're not doing those things, you're not going to hit it. And if you, like, my rule is absolute bare minimum. Bare minimum. You should have 5 things on your story at all times. And I don't just mean like Monday to Friday or like every other day. I mean, all times, 24/7, every single day, you need to have at least 5 things on your story. And again, that's posting your workouts, posting your Energizer, your shakes, posting something about your meal prep, posting something about the coaching opportunity, posting something about your real life. There are so many things you can post about, and it's all in that tracker. And it's all also, when I said use other coaches, if you are stuck, use other coaches, see what they're posting and post that on your story. Like, it's not that hard. Right? So if you're not following the tracker, if people cannot tell what you're doing, they're not going to join you. As much as you like to think, oh, people are just going to come to me. If they don't know what you're doing, and if you're not inviting them and asking them, they won't come. So you've got to really check in with yourself, and you've got to think, am I doing the things to move my business forward? Am I using all of the tools that are given to me before I go and ask my coach what I need to do? So I know that was a little intense, but again, Success Club is non-negotiable, and there you are given all the tools, as I said, to hit it. So there's no excuse not to be hitting Success Club this month. Another thing, don't wait till January 31st, because if you wait, people aren't just going to magically sign up with you when you've only been showing up for the last 2 days. But if you've been showing up the whole month, you're going to hit it. You got to show up consistently all the time, not just sometimes. Tip number 6, use your voice. This was a huge game changer, like huge, massive game changer in my business. When I started using voice notes, my Success Club points doubled. Like, it's honestly incredible to see that just hearing your voice simply changes the way someone thinks of you. So for example, anytime someone gives me a rejection of any kind, if it's they don't have time, they don't have the money, they're whatever, no reason, whatever their rejection is, I always respond with a voice note. And more often than not, they're going to respond back to me instead of just saying, no, thank you. So for example, like, I take their problem, whatever their problem is, and I tell them, you know what, I had that problem too. And this is what I did to get out of that problem. And now look, here I am, and you can do this with me. Give them the tools, give them the advice, tell them you were in the same situation, relate to them, be personable, like, tell them a story about yourself, because the more they know about you, the more they're going to trust you, and the more they're going to want to actually sign up with you. And the other thing is talking on your stories. I know this is scary. I know, especially if you're a new coach, talking on your story for the first time is probably the scariest thing you've ever thought of, but it makes a difference, because the more people see you, see your face, see your personality, see your reactions, hear the passion and the fire in your voice. If you're getting up there being monotone, then that's not good. You need to be showing, like, show this kind of energy. Like, that's what I like to do on my stories. Even if I'm having a down day, I've got fire in my voice, because I want people to get to know me, and I want people to be attracted to that. And I want people to really see the true me and the true what this business can do for you, honestly. And so using your voice is all about getting people to know you, getting FaceTime with people, because think about it. If you talk on your stories once every day, that's in 1 year, people are getting FaceTime with you 365 times. And if you start talking more than that per day, like, that's a lot of time, FaceTime to get with you without actually knowing the person. Like, before I signed up, I saw Shauna speaking on her stories. I felt like I knew her before I even signed up. And I'd never even spoken to her. Like, that's what you want. That's what you want people to feel like they know you and they can trust you. So use your voice, because it is so powerful. Okay, my last tip of the day is cut the crap. Honestly, you're either in or you're out of this business. There's no in between. You can't be showing up every other day. you're out. You're not in this business if you're doing that. If you're not showing up on the weekends, you're out. You're not in this business. If you are in this business, like all in, and you want to see success in this business, you're showing up every single day. Your success is going to come from hard work, consistency, and discipline. And there is no easy way around it. You need to be showing up every single day, no excuse. And you need to answer the question, how bad do you want it, with a really freaking bad. And it needs to be so blatantly obvious on your page. If you go to my profile, it's so obvious that I want it really freaking bad all over my profile. You know what I'm doing. You can see the passion in my voice. You can see everything that I love about this business because I want it really freaking badly. If you go to your profile and you honestly can't answer that question with a hell yes, like I want this, you don't want it bad enough. And that makes the difference. How bad do you want it? There is no room for excuses in this business. If you are the person that is telling yourself you had a tough day at work and you are coming home and you're saying, you know what, I can skip out on my business tonight. I'm just going to watch Netflix and watch TV. You don't want it bad enough. If you are going to hit snooze on your alarm today, you don't want it bad enough. If you are going to go out and party instead of doing your power hour, you don't want it bad enough. Every single excuse that you make means you don't want it bad enough. And so I need to ask you, how bad do you want it? And that's all that I have for you guys today. Does anyone have any questions for me?
I just want to say, like, all hail Queen
Yeah.
Anne. Anyone else, like, freaking amen. One thing, I was just watching the series really quick that Carl recommended last week on the National Wake Up Call, The Playbook. And something that I heard that I feel like really relates to kind of this whole conversation tonight is like when you're at the top or when you're at your like spot, you have to always show up as if someone's coming for it, right? Because if you press snooze that day, someone's coming for your spot, right? If you choose not to get out of bed, if you choose not to do your power hour, someone's coming for your spot. And if you're someone on this team who has goals of team leader, premier, elite, you're telling us you want top 100 in Canada, girl, if you are not doing your power hour, someone's coming for your spot, right? So I thought that really, really connected. And if you haven't watched that series, and you are going to take 30, 45 minutes to watch Netflix, definitely check it out.
Amber, I feel like I need you like in my ear every day. Like between you and Shelby, like you guys are so good with tough love. I loved that so much. I really like how you just like broke it down into all those steps, but also like the basics of everything we teach everyone, right? So all of that is so true. But I will mute in case anyone has any questions for Amber. Don't be afraid.
I have a question. So I always see you on Zoom at like 4:30. It's early. What do you do to get up? Because I've really been struggling because the only time I have to myself is in the morning and I don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah, so that is something that it takes time to get used to. You just have to realize that, like, it's not something that one day I just woke up and was like, oh, this is fun. I'm just going to do this every day at 4 a.m. Like, that's not something that I just decided one day. It is something that you have to be disciplined into doing. So for me, like, I used to do my workouts after work, but I found that was when I had no energy. So I switched to the morning. But since I start work at 6 o'clock in the morning, I knew that like I need to be getting up really early. So it was very hard. I started, I think in March last year. It was so hard for the first month. It was like every day you wake up, you feel like you got hit by a bus and you just have to push through that. Honestly, like you have to push through that. You have to have the mental toughness to do it. And that's all it is. It's mental toughness. There's no secret sauce to this. It's literally, you have to tell yourself, if I don't get up now, I don't want it bad enough. Right? You just got to keep telling yourself that I don't want it bad enough if I don't get my butt out of bed right now. And it's hard to do in the morning, again at 4. But some like little tips you can do is put your phone across the room so that you literally have to get out of bed. What I do is like, I literally don't allow myself to hit snooze. Like that's not even an option on my phone. So like, just know you can't go back in bed. Like you have to get up. Another thing that I do, like I have to be at work at 6, like that's not an option. So like, I know that if I'm slagging, like, and I'm going really slowly in the morning, I'm not going to finish my morning routine. So I know that like, once I'm up, I'm motoring, like you have to go. Of course, Energize helps, but honestly, like, I know that's probably not the quick tips you wanted to hear, but it comes from mental toughness. That's all it is. And you have to push through that first couple months. It's really hard because it is so worth it.
No, that was perfect. Thank you.
I just have a little something, Heather, too. I basically did the same thing as Amber. Like, I started doing my workouts like after work and it wasn't working. So I like switched to like early mornings too. So I do mine at 5:30 or 4:30. But I got, it's like this journal. It's called the Morning Sidekick Journal. And I just got it off Amazon. And it's basically like, has a bunch of like tips and tricks of like how to get your ass out of bed in the morning. Like, and it's like trying to like break like the habit of like hitting snooze and sleeping in and stuff. And I found that like it really helps. And I'm a person that has to like, if I have something on my to-do list, like it has to get checked off. And with this one, like if you don't do it, you don't get to check it off. So I don't know if you're that kind of person, but this has really helped me. So that's just a resource.
Anyone else have questions at all?
Last thing I'll say is I think if you're a new coach, know that Amber is also a new coach. And I think you can hear it right from her talk today, exactly why she's seen success, right? And so if there's anything that you take away from this call, I don't even think you have to remember what she said. Of course, like what she said is awesome, but just knowing that the reason that Amber is successful is because of the discipline that she's been able to find. And I think the way that she's made this business work for her and not necessarily just a copy paste of what she's heard from other coaches on our team. And so I think if you take anything away, like that is what I would take away. I think Amber has done such an incredible job with that.
No one else?
I have a question, but I am disgustingly sweaty from my workout, so please excuse my picture. Do you work in pockets of time? Like, do you set like a work schedule for yourself for coaching?
So I'm more of a work in bigger chunks of time type of person. So what I do is the morning is my time for myself, like my morning routine. That's totally my own stuff. That's not really coaching. So I do my workouts and stuff. Then I go to work. So what I actually do is I save my workout videos to my phone, and like when I'm in the bathroom in the morning at work, like I'm doing my workout stories. Like that is what I do. So when I say pockets of the day, that's like really the pocket that I work in is on the toilet. And like that's what you've got to do if you're a busy person. Like you've got to take that time that you have. And so I don't plan enough time in the morning before work to do that. So I do it when I'm on my breaks and stuff. But otherwise, apart from posting my workout story and maybe sharing stories I'm tagged in throughout the day, I don't really do anything while I'm at work because I don't really have that option because I'm doing stuff at work. So what I do when I first come home is always my power hour. Like the second I get home, I'm doing my invites because I know that if I don't do it now, like things are going to happen in the night that I'm not going to get it done. And so I do that right away to guarantee that that's done in my business. And then the rest of the night, I used to just do an hour, but now I spend like the whole night because it's COVID and like, what else are you going to do? But I spend like the whole night doing my coaching stuff now. But like when I show up to power hours at the 7:30 one, like I've already done a power hour. Like that's the kind of mindset you need to have. Like you need to be like, oh, I've already done that. I'm doing this again. Like I'm doing this a second time. But yeah, if that answers your question. Like I'm more of a big chunk type other than in the washroom at break.
I'm just super curious, when it comes to like inviting and connections and all that, do you kind of have like a set number that you kind of go for? Do you up that number? Does it kind of change?
So I've done for the last couple of months, I think pretty much since I hit diamond, actually, I've been doing minimum 50 every single day. And so I'm talking like invites / follow-ups. So I do minimum 50, and I think since like January started, I've been doing minimum 60. So I've just been kind of like nudging it up. Again, that's not all brand new people I'm talking to. I'm talking with people I've invited like months ago. But yeah, so I've kind of, I guess, slowly ramped it up. Like when I first started, I was not doing 50, obviously, but that's kind of what I've worked up to. And if you have a really good tracking system in place, it's so easy to do that. Like I get my invites done in like 20 minutes. I do 50 invites. Like you've got to find a system that works for you and saves you time. That's my biggest advice. If you're struggling to get 50 invites, it's because your system isn't good enough.
I have a question. How do you find like your working coaches? Do you find them more with challengers, or like how do you find yours?
That's actually something I struggled with for, I feel like forever. Like I could not find working coaches. And what I did though, like all the coaches that I now have working currently were all challengers first. And like, I just believe that that's a better way, because I've had a couple people who start with both and end up quitting both, honestly. Like, so I just find like pour into your challengers and give them all the love, and you'll start to pick and choose like the people who are actually showing up, and those are going to be people you need to focus on and turn into coaches.
Is that everyone? Well, thanks, Amber. That was like fire. I loved that. That's such like a great way to start the week. There's also some calls this week. Riley, I know, shared that she's having a call on her team for tomorrow. And then there's also other calls, but those are like obviously optional. It's just if you want extra trainings or anything, like obviously take advantage of that. And then we have 2 guided power hours this week. So one on Thursday with Andrea and one on Sunday with Kira. I think that's how it was, or was it opposite? That's how it was. Anyways, so we have 2 people guiding them. Feel free to hop on. I'm hoping that I see this many faces on the guided power hours, because I know a lot of the time people ask those sorts of questions. So it'll be nice to see you guys on there. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good night and talk to you soon.